Alliance. Graham Martin, who's the Chairman CEO there. Tobin Richardson, who is the new CEO and President of ZigBee. And then Victor Berrios, who is Vice President of Technology at ZigBee as well. So I wanted to start off with a few questions here at CES. The first one is, the two organizations, EnOcean and ZigBee, just announced a partnership that's going to facilitate some collaboration between the two, namely ZigBee 3.0 and EnOcean's wireless technology. Can you give us some background on that and let us know what the value prop is going to be for IoT developers moving forward?
Absolutely. So I guess this is Tobin Richardson. I'll start off. We're really excited about the partnership that we announced with the EnOcean Alliance, and it's going to have, as you say, a lot of value for developers. Both organizations bring great strengths in our respective areas, and we have a nice crossover area in the area of green power. So where 3.0 is really bringing together all of our different application and device types, so really this common applications library, we are really looking to bring that as kind of a center point for a lot of IoT applications. So it's important that we not only consolidate what we have within the ZigBee Alliance standards, but that we also look to the leading organizations that are in market areas that are really important to our members and our users and the market as well, which is why it's such a great fit. And we're so excited about the EnOcean Alliance joining us in that endeavor. With their batteryless and energy harvesting technology at the core of that, they're able to bring in all of their experience over those years, expand the ecosystem, and further improve what we're able to bring to developers. So maybe I'll let Graham talk a little bit about the EnOcean side here.
Yeah, this is Graham Martin from the EnOcean Alliance. We are also very excited about this partnership with ZigBee, and we're very excited about the launch of ZigBee 3.0, and we're very happy to be part of this. What we bring to the table is the energy harvesting experience that we've been doing since 2001.
It's going to be so important.
And historically, we've been in large commercial building deployments, and that's been very good and very successful, and this will continue. And we've been using this in sub 1 gigahertz frequencies.
Okay.
The value proposition we bring with the partnership with ZigBee is together we can now offer a global solution at 2.4 gigahertz,
right,
with all the great advantages of the new ZigBee 3.0, plus the additional experience and profiles from EnOcean in the energy harvesting field. That gives the members of both alliances the possibility now to have the best of both worlds and install ZigBee 3.0 networks with a much larger energy harvesting base,
right,
field proven.
Victor, maybe I'll pose this to you really quickly, or Graham too. Are you afraid that adding another protocol that operates at 2.4 gigahertz is going to crowd up that spectrum even more, or should you be able to operate seamlessly there?
This is Victor Berrios. I'll gladly take on that one. Not really concerned, because when you look just at the traditional ZigBee protocol itself in 15.4, our packets are small.
Right.
And that is why, even in the presence of many other users of the ISM band, we're able to find the spots to send these very small little packets. When you start talking about energy harvesting devices, those packets become even smaller.
Okay.
Because there's even less energy than a battery can provide. Now you have to live within the physical constraints of how much the technology is able to provide in terms of energy, which is, as you would expect, a little bit less than what a battery would provide you. So these packets are going to be even smaller. So they're, sure, in the grand scheme of things, they'll add more traffic, but the traffic is so small that we should be able to get those through with no issues.
Perfect. So now moving on to the profiles, ZigBee's been built for years on the idea of different profiles, and EnOcean has profiles itself. So how are the two going to come together? I guess if you want to take from the ZigBee side, Victor, and then Graham, if you want to follow up.
Correct. So from the ZigBee perspective, obviously, when the way we use profiles, and I guess in terms of usage, it was slightly different between the two organizations. We dealt with vertical markets, would be home automation, building automation, healthcare, and what have you, and delivering a top to bottom file layer to application layer, specific definition for how that was going to work. With 3.0, what we have done is, listen to the market and said, look, I don't want a light bulb for each one of these vertical markets. I want a light bulb. So we have removed those separations in terms of profiles, so that now there's devices working inside of ZigBee 3.0. With the EnOcean equipment profiles, they're device definitions in terms of the ZigBee touchstick. What we're doing is we are adding additional devices to the ZigBee 3.0 library of devices. These happen to be energy harvesters, so they communicate a little bit differently. So they're certainly complementary to the rest of the device definitions we have that do not rely on energy harvesting technology.
Right. Yeah, completely agree. What we are doing, we have about 200 profiles or clusters for energy harvesting based products. Over the past 10 years, we've optimized these to be energy efficient, sending as little data as possible with as little energy as possible. So we're bringing this to the table, and we'll be sitting with Victor and his team, with our technical team, over the next 3 to 4 months to figure out the exact way how we're going to join these together. Because ZigBee has green power, which is a very good part of ZigBee 3.0. We have all this experience and all these profiles, and we will sit together over the next 3 months and figure out the optimum way to put this all together into ZigBee 3.0. Important for us is it still stays all ZigBee 3.0, and we're trying to converge here.
Great. So Tobin, I'll pose this to you. There now wireless mesh networks are becoming, I guess, center stage more so than they have in the past, at least within the context of IoT. And there are some competing protocols that are trying to work with that. ZigBee and EnOcean, for that matter, have been working on those for a long, long time. Where do you think the wireless mesh networking technologies that you've developed and have evolved for over a decade, I believe, are going to position you in terms of application or vertical market? Where do you think your strengths lie within the IoT?
Yeah, so really, and this is Tobin again, there are probably two questions there. One, where are ZigBee standards going to be used? And then where is wireless mesh really kind of a differentiator or an important element? And the easy answer to the first one is ZigBee standards, because of the way that we're structured and the standards that we develop and the certification programs that we put behind that, are really used in virtually all IoT markets when you're talking about networking, whether it's in the consumer, smart home, commercial building, large building, conference centers that are using that for lighting, neighborhood area networks, smart energy interface to different utility networks. So they're, because of the way that we're structured, we do really well with embedded low power devices and low power networks. That has the added benefit of being just a good networking approach anyway. You're not going to see ZigBee networks used to really stream your favorite Netflix video, and we have no desire to do that, and our members don't. So we know where our strengths are in that sense, and you can really bring that strength into just really any number of different scenarios where you want to have a multitude of different devices that speak intelligently to each other. The mesh networking will have different strengths in a tough environment where it's not easy to get from a base station of sorts to the end node. It's great to have 4 different ones to connect to. In a harsh environment where you may lose nodes, it's great to have that meshing capability because it becomes self-healing. When I worked in utility network for utility directly, that mesh was really important to us because we wanted that reliability. So when you're talking about those kinds of drivers, meshing is really important. A smart home that is an apartment that has 4 devices, meshing may not be that important. You don't have as much geography to go over. For a commercial building like this, and I've got one light switcher controller at one end of a 300-yard long building, and I want to be able to turn lights on and off and not have repeaters. It works. It's a really good environment for that. So there are a number of different ways, and those markets will kind of become self-defined. But the mesh is a good value. But a lot of the other things that we provide for networking are universally applicable around these different market segments.
Great. kind of about to wrap up here, and Victor, we were touching on this a little bit before we started a formal conversation, so maybe I'll start with you. Is the protocol landscape right now, and how it seems like every other day, not that often, but very frequently, there's a new protocol, and the problem with new protocols, how many of them there are, and the fragmentation that causes. Where do you see protocol consolidation happening? How do you see that unfolding?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is Victor again. I can't really talk as to why they keep cropping up. I do know, obviously, from our experience, that bringing one up and taking it to market and having it penetrate the market, it's not an easy task. The proposition that us and everybody else is doing is having a network that's reliable and usable by your members and the market, and that truly comes by execution, by getting the protocol done, getting it in the market, have people essentially use it and bid on it, and then help you make it stronger. And I haven't found a shortcut to do that other than time and experience. I think over time the market will give each one of the new ones their due course, their due evaluation. Some of them might make it, some of them might not. We certainly encountered that challenge when we launched the Alliance. We were able to rise to it and put a product out there that is now in hundreds of millions of nodes deployed in the marketplace. So we certainly feel confident that experience will carry us forward.
Can I add something?
Certainly.
So this is Graham from EnOcean again. Yes, there are too many standards and there are too many protocols. And one of the things we're doing today is we're consolidating, and that is a must. If we look at the IoT, we're talking about billions, possibly even trillions of connected devices in the future. We need to keep this simple, and we can't have 20, 30, 40 different standards all saying we are the only one and we are the best. On the other side, no one standard does everything.
Right.
But consolidating where it makes sense, and then letting the market see that this is a simple plug-and-play solution. This is a very good way to go. Where we're coming from is 50 billion, 100 billion devices. You're not going to pull a cable to all of them. You're not going to be able to change batteries in all of them. So a certain proportion of them will be energy harvesting. And up till now, it was okay. Energy harvesting is only EnOcean. And the change in thoughts that have been coming over the past months and years are, but we can't do this alone. We need to pick the right partners and put the right standards together to do this, and that's one of the things we're doing here today.
Great. So you think that possibly down the road, this partnership could grow even closer, stronger, into maybe not a partnership anymore, maybe into this one and the same?
Anything is possible. I think both of our organizations are member and market driven. So if our members and the market drive us that way, why not?
Great. We certainly get along well, so that's a good start.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, and hope you have a great show.
You too, Brandon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brennan.
Thanks.